Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm very happy to see you again. Today is another cooking video because the rainy season, weather outside is not so perfect today. I want to cook something for you, and it's a full meal on budget. And that kind of meal we eat in my home country. It's something regional, and it's a very traditional kind of food. These are lentils with spaetzle. And most of the English people, they don't know what spaetzle means. And don't worry, stay tuned, you will find it out. Okay, spaetzle, we will do together here. Lentils, I have soaked yesterday in water, and then they rested over the night in the fridge. We have some small sausages. They are called mini bites. You will find out later why we use them. Then we have a half onion because it's a big one. If you have a small one, just use a small one. So, and then some ingredients aside. Okay, and we have a bouillon. This is done with a cube because we are cooking on a budget. So I cannot do the same with buying fresh vegetables. Okay, let me remove the water where the lentils soaked in. So we start boiling the lentils, and for your information, I don't add any salt, or I don't add already the vegetable bouillon, because if you start cooking the lentils and you add already salt, they don't get softened so fast like they will get softened when you don't add any salt or other spices. Just let them cook till they're getting a little bit soft. That's very easy. Okay, now the next step, what we can do, we can start with the spaetzle. So I have 2 eggs, and I want to add already the salt. Someone told me that if you add the salt to the eggs direct before you beat them up. Spaetzle. You know noodles, you know pasta. So these noodles and pasta, what you buy regular, it's nearly the same kind of dough which is prepared. But then these noodles are getting dried, and then they are getting packed. So, or even if you do it yourself, you make the dough, then you hang these noodles somewhere that they can dry through. And that is the difference to spaetzle. So in my home country, nobody would call spaetzle a noodle or would call spaetzle pasta. It's just spaetzle. Sounds funny if I talk this in English. And here we also need, later we need some water. So for the wheat flour here, I'm using, it's just for my single meal today, I use only 200 grams of wheat flour and 2 eggs. So they are tasty, very good. Even you can prepare more if you have a deep freezer. At the end, you can store them. Packing, then you add them to the deep freezer. and it's really delicious. You will see at the end of the video a little bit of the water. And the salt has been 4 grams for 200 grams of wheat flour. By the way, I can already start the water for boiling then the spaetzle. If I do a bigger quantity, I just use my kitchen machine, but I wanted to do the recipe today in a way that every one of you can just do the same at home. You don't need any special equipment. So this dough is to beat until you can see some small bubbles are coming up. And I think I'm still far from it. What I like is, and what I add now, this is also not a must, but me, I like a little bit of nutmeg. This aroma is really delicious. I can see it's developing. Okay, so this dough has to rest now for a while. I will just cover it now, then we continue later. So meanwhile, I just can cut the onion. Okay. And when I prepare lentils or beans, I like it when the sauce is not so fluid, not so liquid. So what we do now together, I bring you now to the oven so you can follow up. I need small oil, maybe a little bit more. And I need some wheat flour and the egg beater. and one of the hand glove, because I need to beat that flour into the hot oil. It should not burn, but it should become dark. And why should it become dark? We have the lentils, they are dark, and we want to get some aromas. To give it a special flavor. If you don't like that step, it's not a must to do. This is only my personal priority. Yeah, I cannot just leave it, then it will be fully burned. I always have to stay here and to beat it. Let me check the lentils. Yeah, everything is still fine here. So, even I want to pick the vegetable bouillon. Oh yeah, I can smell. Now the smell is coming. It's like you are roasting the flour. The reason why I prepared the vegetable bouillon in advance is I want to connect. This should become then the thickened sauce for the lentils. And that it's to connect it properly, that means you need something cold. This is cooled down. This is very hot. Now I add, yeah. So now I have to beat it up again and quickly. Now it's getting creamy. I need more. Yeah, that's it. Let's say you mix it together hot in hot. Then it might happen that you get like flakes. But we don't like flakes, we want a creamy bouillon sauce. And they are how far now? Already getting soft. So that is the point to add the onion. I add a little bit more of water for the moment. That's enough, I think. So, and now we can add salt. Now let me add that volume. I expected to get these sauce more dark, but that is then the problem if someone is not patient. And you might wonder now, there are people, they don't add what I do now, they don't add vinegar. But us, in my family, we like to eat it sour. So I was planning to use red wine vinegar, but to improve even the color a little bit, I have it's called aceto balsamico. This is made out, how is rosine called in English? These are dried grapes. And then they are starting the fermenting process to become vinegar. I hope I described right. So now the color is, now the color is coming that way. And by the way, don't forget, this is a recipe. Cooking on budget means you can add on a lot of things. You can add on carrots. When you start preparing, you roast carrots, you roast celery and other vegetables, and then you cook it together with the lentils. But then it's not cooking on a budget. So if you listen or if you watch till end, you will find out how much money is that food. So okay, this is already like for 2 person or for 1 big man, for 1 big hungry man. So even here now we are coming. Let me remove the lentils for the moment. Okay, water is boiling. Now we have to add salt. So what about salt? How much salt? So, and I didn't measure the water and I don't measure the salt, because to find out if it's salty enough, I recommend to you add the salt, mix it up. And this is not only for spaetzle. This advice is also when you prepare pasta, like spaghetti, like rigatoni, or something like these Italian names for the pasta, for the noodles. So now I have mixed it through, and now let me taste. Yeah, it's very salty. So, but you cannot handle this information. That means it's enough salt when it tastes like your own tears. Did you ever taste your own tears liquid when you cried out of a sad reason or whatever? So that taste of your tears, they are salty. Exactly that, plus a little bit more of salt, and then you are 100% right. Okay, don't worry or don't wonder. This is a timber blade. We use it to slice this dough into the water, or to shape, not to slice. And for that reason, I use the scrubber. And to be true, if I do it for my own purpose in a bigger quantity, I don't do it with that. There is a household item what we can use, and it's many years since I did it by hand, so we will see what happened. Why did I put the wooden blade into the water? This makes the wood wet. So if the wood would be dry like here, the dough would just paste and you cannot move easily. That is the advice number one. So then I pick from the dough. Even I need equipment first to remove the spaetzle then. Okay, now I pick from the dough. Then I bring it here. And then you pull it up because it will become big. You add small water and then you can start. You go fast doing that and then you bring it down again. And now you see they're going down, they are coming up. That means when they are coming up from the ground, I must continue because it will get dry. When they are coming up, then they are ready to remove already. This is not a big deal. It's only that exercise, how to handle that dough. So I add a little bit more. And I just come along here. Now even I boiled my finger. That's not so good. Okay. Imagine now I have just moved the camera and I checked the screen, the display, and I saw the warning, camera switched off because of overheating. Hey, this can make me angry. You start preparing food and you cannot finish because the action camera is overheating. So, but okay, let's continue here. So. In German language, Linsen mit Spätzle und Seitenwürstle. In English, lentils with small beef bites and Spätzle, Swabian Spätzle. So let me taste for you. Even with the vinegar, it was not too much and not too less. Look at this. So, it's the best as long as it's hot. Means I will eat now and then I come back, we go into the budget. How much is that meal in Kenya shillings?